It's been my experience that very few fly anglers give any consideration at all to the length of the head section of their fly line. In a recent advanced seminar I conducted, we had maybe 20 students. Not one of them could tell me the length of the head section of their fly line, when really this is probably the most important piece of information you could have about a fly line. In order to make your long cast, you need to have the entire head section along with 2 or 3 feet of running line outside the rod tip before you make your delivery. The amount of running line outside the rod tip is referred to as overhang. If you overhang too much line, your cast is going to collapse. It's simply an inefficient transfer of energy. You're asking a very thin running line to suddenly turn over a very thick head section. Also, you don't want any of the head section inside the rod tip when you make your delivery, because you don't want to have to shoot head. Best case scenario is you're going to have to work a little harder to make that long cast. Worst case scenario, it may kill your cast completely. As a matter of form, I mark all my fly lines for length and weight. You can see here I've put like a 6-inch black bar using a Sharpie laundry marker on my fly line right at the end of the head section. So when I have this bar 2 or 3 feet outside the rod tip, I automatically know that I'm in good position to make my long delivery. So let's take a look at that. Here you can see the mark I made in my fly line indicating the end of the head section, which on this particular fly line was 40 feet. Notice that at no point in the casting sequence does that mark come inside the rod tip. That is, the entire head and a couple feet of running line always remain outside the rod tip. When you have the entire head section and a couple to a few feet of running line outside the rod tip, you're in good position to make your long delivery. Here's a 50-foot mark that I put on my fly line. I use 3 1-inch bars to indicate 50 feet of fly line. I know that when that mark is a couple feet outside the rod tip at the end of the cast, assuming I've got a 9-foot rod and a 9-foot leader, I have made a 70-foot cast.